Yeah, you are welcome back to the Benin Empire Advancement League, the home of all the Benins. Uh, it's been a week here since I was live, and I was thinking maybe during the week I could make it to come live and talk to our people. Um, well, the issue of courtesan, I think the situation is getting far more better, getting far more better as as I thought, as I thought, and I'm very very grateful and happy about that because our people are responsible people, and our young ones also are also very very responsible people in every community, in every society in the world. We all have this problem. But the most important thing is how do we go along with it? How do we stop all these things? You know, uh, some of my viewers was were very very angry because of the words I use and because of the write up. But notwithstanding, I'm very very grateful. I could say 90% of my viewers understand what I was talking about, why it's so important to stop all this nonsense that's currently going on in our state. But today, I have some photographs that that made my day. You see, our Monoba Nedu Huakbolokbolo, Oba Eredia, Oba Ewari, the second, the Ogidigan, the greatest Oba of all time, visited Ahmed, President Ahmed Tinubu in the presidential office in Abuja. And you can see the picture here. Uh, I want to talk to my people, especially because I'm very, very happy about this picture. Because there has been a lot of discussion in social media about our Omonoba. And you see, when people are talking, they don't reason very well sometimes. They don't reason very well because something is blocking their brain or something is really, really wrong with them. You know, there has been a lot of insult that was pouring up and down, a lot of useless talks in the social media. I hope this picture sent everyone a message to know we be we not be your mate, oh, we big pass all of you now. I hope every one of you understand. You see, our Amonoba went to Abuja in a grand style uh, system. You know, he didn't went them alone, not with his wives or children, as other monarch did. He went there with the chiefs from Edo State, with the kings from Edo State. He went there with the king of Edo, from Edo State, I think about 5 or 6 of them, who who represent Edo State. I believe they left also a very, very great impression in Aso Rock. And that is why the president, nearly installed president of Nigeria, Ahmed Tinubu, uh, also give that respect back to our Oba. Because we know Tinubu has not always been a friend of Benin because of the election that took that took place 7 years ago. We know what happened there. People were shouting, uh, Lagos is not Benin. Lagos is not Benin. And that was also very, very correct. But there's also something very, very important that came up in that discussion after the meeting, secret meeting with Ahmed Tinubu. And the Oba of Benin come out to say everyone should support the government. Yes, I understand that also that everyone should support the government of Ahmed Tinubu so that there will be progress in Nigeria, that there will be peace and tranquility in Nigeria. Because The way things are moving in Nigeria today, it's like there's a cloud, there's a cloud, I would say a dirty cloud that is moving around, especially in the eastern part and the western part of this country today. You see, when Buhari was the president of Nigeria, we were having this problem that the Igbos or some other tribe kick against Buhari anywhere they could. But notwithstanding, former President Buhari respects the Benin people very, very well. Why is this so? Well, why was that so? Because of our Amanoba Nedo Kwakbolokbolo. Because the way he represents us home and abroad, and and the way position itself for the Benin people, then we should understand that this man is ready to offer his time, to give everything he has to make sure Edo people come in forefront, come forward, to develop, to do everything, to make sure everything, every project that is supposed to be happening happens in Edo State. And I fully say Oba Batokbe is your well. So, and people doesn't really understand when we talk that the greatest Oba of all time is not just because of the return of artifacts and all that. We have been seeing in the past few years the progress, the peace that is really going on in Edo State. The land grabbing and all that are reducing dramatically because of the initiative from the Oba of Benin and the government of Obaseki are working together in some ways. In some ways, they can be able to work together. And at the same time, we have seen all sorts of levels of communication with other kings in Edo State, in and outside Edo State, to make sure there's progress in Edo State. We know at the tenure of President Buhari, we were having this herdsmen problem when everybody was talking about the Fulani herdsmen, insecurity, and other things. I think we were able to overcome all these things because of the initiative of our Omonoba Nedo. Because without him, it could have been very, very difficult for us to really survive that situation. But today, we should be proud of ourselves and be proud of the Omonba of Benin because he has been doing really, really doing a lot. You see, in the issue of road, in the issue of road, federal road, you know, when our Monoba was talking to uh, former minister, Mr. Agba, you know, he make reference to the Auchi road, the federal road, and so many other roads in Edo State from the federal project, which are supposed to be done because we have two minister we were having two minister position at that period, and we refused and didn't use this opportunity. The ministers we were having didn't really respond to all this, you know, and that is why that road is as it is today. Because our ministers who were there, our representatives, federal representatives, they failed us in that form. Because if you go to Lagos State today, you will see what is going on there. We see the construction that is going on there. Not that Lagos State is richer than Edo State, because of the initiative of the Yoruba people, because they know exactly how to use the federal fund for their own purpose. You see, Edo State is an oil producing state, gas producing state, but we cannot see that. We cannot see that really from the federal government because we are one of the people that is feeding Nigeria to date. All the resources Nigeria is using today, I can tell you 80% of them is coming from our own region. Our own region. You see, and our whole region is one of the underdeveloped state in that country. So we have to wake up, and start doing things the way it's supposed to be done. When I saw a video that was sent to me today, and I saw the convoy of the governor stuck in Sapele Road in an erosion something. I was laughing to say, okay, today it also affects the governor and his entourage. To say the fact, I was laughing, but I wasn't happy because I have to laugh because uh, this is somebody we voted for to represent us in any form, in any way, to make sure the other people could be happy. But notwithstanding, uh, Mr. Obaseki came out in a live broadcast to be saying this is a federal rush, like the federal government abandoned us, and the they are not answering his call to repair this road and all that. Yes, we know that, and this is what we have been complaining about. You know, when you are in any party, whether you are PDP, Labour Party, APC, or whatsoever, never make enemies. Never make enemies, because the enemy you make today is still your enemy tomorrow, even though the election is over. You know, that is why in the system, most of the system in Europe, they never make enemies. And they never jump from one party to the other party as we are doing today in Nigeria. You see? And that is the problem we are facing now. You see, we neglected a lot of things. We are supposed to be pushing forward. So we are supposed to unite. South Nigeria is supposed to unite and be pushing their agenda forward, because that is the only way we can survive. Because these people uh, are just counting us as one of the minority in Nigeria, because Nigeria has over 520, 500, I think about 530 ethnic groups. And these people here, the Yorubas and the Igbos and the Hausa or Fulani, because they are very different people, think they are the majority, but actually they are not the majority. They are only in the middle, you see. And then when the South manage to rise up and say, today our resources should be remaining in our state, I believe the federal government will have to answer us in a form, but we cannot see that initiative from our people here. We allowed our resources to be taken out without return, without return, without anything. But I have this to say: our last, the transportation minister, Mr. Mechi, uh, I thank him for approving the Benin airport, the Benin seaport, because this is going to give us also a boost. It's going to give the economic of Edo State a very big boost, because the Edo people is one of the people using Lagos State seaport. You see, and if those cargoes and all that is being directed to Lagos, if they are directed to Benin, I believe this will also help our people, employ our people, our young ones who are now roaming around in the streets, doing one sort of things and the other to survive. We also have a space, and we should also, this is very, very important. It has nothing to do with racism. We should look at our people first, because in other states, this is what they do. You see, in Edo State, because we give every ethnic group that come, we give them a warm welcome and employ them, give them employment where they're not supposed to be employed. In other states in Nigeria, it's very, very difficult for Edo people to find job and work in high-ranking places. So the Edo people need, especially in the oil sector, we are oil producing state, and our people who are employed by the NPC are very, very small amount. And Edo State should wake up to the task to start demanding from federal government, because we need to start demanding. And if we keep quiet, nobody will listen to us. If we keep quiet, nobody will have ear for us. We need to start demanding and telling people this is our land and this is our resources. We can share with you, but it belongs to us. Because in other states, all the resources belongs to almost belongs to the state. It's like people just come to the south and they root everything they can and leave. And it shouldn't be that way again, because we have suffered enough in Nigeria, and this is also time people need to recognize that we are one of the richest and one of the biggest ethnic groups in Nigeria, not just the one they are propagating in social media. So I would thank my people for what they have done to date, and we still expect more. More should be done, especially some of our brothers and sisters who are out in social media defending Edo, uh, lecturing our people, educating our people how to move forward and all that, and also defending our states, defending our tradition, custom. Thank you very much for doing that. And we don't have to relent. We have to continue with what we have been doing, because this is very, very important for our state, because we can see how our state are being bypassed when it comes to infrastructure. For example, the railway, it's already moving in other states. But in Edo State, we doesn't have it now, till now. So this is what we should be propagating, and also calling the federal government to speed up the project, because this is also very, very important for our people. It will also relieve our people maybe from fuel, uh, from the explosion of price in the fuel sector, or the petrol sector. It will also help our people in a way. But we are not saying this yet, because Benin City should have been number one that this train could have passed through. Because it's like Edo State was cut off from this infrastructure project. Although they said, okay, they have a plan, it's coming, it's that, but we need to have it earlier, because we can see the confusion in the state and everywhere in Nigeria today. If we have earlier started with all this train project with heavy security and everything that follow, I believe this fuel something or petrol something will not have been so affecting our people as it is today, because we lack of so many infrastructures in the cities and everywhere. It's time for us to start really investing on our people, investing on infrastructure, because this is the power of any nation. If it doesn't have infrastructure, it's like you are wasting your time. You know, the Benin Aunchi road needs to be fixed. Then the federal road in all Edo State need to be fixed, because we are feeding Nigeria and we are not getting anything back. Nigeria need to wake up and answer our call. We are calling on the new elected government to come to Edo State and see things for themselves. How the federal properties in Edo State are being maintained by the federal agents that is there. Because we are part of Nigeria. We are still part of Nigeria. And if it were warrant, we will also be seeking our own nation, because we cannot allow people to be treating us as if we are second-class citizens in Nigeria. I have to say this, because our call must be heard. A state that is generating revenue for the federal government of Nigeria need to be answered, their call need to be heard, and something must be done. So let me stop there, and Also, there's also a sad news, and I say this because we have been holding up in our page not to say this because of our traditional rights, that one of our greatest chief has departed to join our ancestors, and he was a great son of the Benin Empire, a patriotic son of the Benin Empire. We cannot compare any other chief with this, our commander. And I sincerely send my condolence to the family of our chief that left us and to join our ancestors. You know, according to the news, he was 94 years old because in the Benin tradition and culture, in that old age, nobody should cry. I think everybody should be happy because it's have a do with his full heart. And in Benin culture, we said, Odede, Okmonofua, Ayagane, Ayaune, Igbomanoto Severioni, Vievederio Agogo, Runde Agbononi, Emihia no Yoto, Imonobiele Yoto. But nevertheless, we are still a little bit sad because it comes for us as a surprise. And our condolence to the palace, our condolence to the family, to the wife, children, and everybody that was left in this world. God should guide and protect every one of them, he said. So, on the other topics is the Edo people themselves. The Edo people, I know it's not other easy to be an Edo person, and because of the news that is going around right now about our one of our young musician. I will not talk about that today, but I will reserve that for another broadcast because that is another topic entirely, and maybe we are going to be talking about it next week. And I hope you people remain safe and healthy till the next broadcast. So thank you very much for joining me for today's broadcast, and I really appreciate everyone for being here. And Oba Lato May Inigi Gato Mayavekbe. Imani Goba Deledo Yayi Wagavito Wavekbe. Ise.